In this Circuits of the Past video, Herman shows you the abandoned grandstands on the old Reims Gueux circuit in northern France. We start with the exploration of the old press grandstand. As you can see, this grandstand was in a bad state when Herman filmed this back in August of 2020. But the foundation, Les Amis de Circuit de Gueux, starts the restoration of this old press grandstand from September 2020. The future restoration of other grandstands will start from 2021. It'll be fascinating to see a comparison of it all once it's all completed.
It's a big work to do that. We must break, we must do another surface. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. Le danger.
Be careful.
Let me introduce the people in this video. The guy with the camera is Herman. He's the founder of the Circuit of the Past website and YouTube channel. The man in front is Jean-François Prévost, volunteer for the foundation that restores the old circuit buildings. He showed Herman around the places that are not quite accessible to the public. And I'm Simon Smith, I do the voiceovers. I have a YouTube channel too called High Plane Games if you're interested. So here we are on the press grandstands. This is where the journalists would watch the race and write their stories.
Je suis ici.
Here we have a look at the scary stairs that Herman and Jean-François have risked their lives to climb up. And here is another look at the rear of the press grandstand. This is probably where the press kits were distributed. Now we go to explore the huge grandstand for the public.
Stars.
Here's another look at the scary stairs from the press grandstand. One misstep and you'll be performing a total wipeout into the tunnel below. Fortunately, the stairs of the public grandstand still have a railing. The name of this part of the stand is Raymond Sommer, after a French racing driver from the 1930s that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans twice. During World War II, he was active for the French resistance. After the war, he wanted to continue his motor racing career, but sadly he died during a crash during the Haute-Garonne Grand Prix in 1950. This part is also named after a French racing driver from the 1930s, Jean-Pierre. He was also active for the French resistance during World War II. Fate also befell him, though, after the war, when he was unfortunately killed during an accident in the 1949 Buenos Aires Grand Prix. Finally, this part is named after Robert Benoist, a French racing driver from the 1920s this time, and as well as the 1930s, who also was in the French resistance during the war. Clearly they liked hiring racing drivers. However, he didn't survive the war. After he was arrested and escaped, they re-arrested him again in June of 1944. 3 months later, he was executed. Here Herman and Jean-Francois leave the grandstand via yet another scary staircase without handrails. Fortunately, this one isn't as high as the other one, but regardless, I'd be wearing brown trousers by about now.
Here it was a restaurant.
We're now inside the grandstand building. As you can see, some graffiti artists have been active here. You may also have heard that this place used to be a restaurant for spectators. Here was the counter where spectators stood in line for some food and drink. And here Herman accidentally scares a few pigeons away with his camera. Heroic efforts. There seem to be universal hieroglyphics in all abandoned places across the world these days.
A shooting range. I remember from the drone flight. Maybe you have seen it.
While we enjoy Herman's footage of the exploration inside of the grandstands, I'll tell you a little bit more about the history of the Reims Gueux circuit. The Reims Gueux circuit was operational from 1926 through to 1972. It was a street circuit, but it hosted and housed permanent pit and grandstand facilities. Reims Gueux hosted the Formula 1 races and 12 hours of go. Originally the circuit ran through the village of Gueux, but in 1952 a new connection cut off that section, and in 1953 the track was extended. For more information about all the different layouts of the circuit, I strongly recommend taking a look at the video Reims Gueux Circuit, all layouts. When Formula 1 abandoned the circuit after the 1966 French Grand Prix, the track became outdated and was only used for national races. After the last race in 1972, they actually wanted to demolish the whole thing, including all of the buildings. But a new mayor stopped the demolition, and the buildings were left for nature to take over for the next few decades. There were already plans to restart the demolition and build houses on the site instead, but the foundation, Les Amis du Circuit de Gueux, or the Friends of the Circuit of Gueux, managed to prevent that. They got permission to restore the buildings back to their original glory and guarantee that nothing would be demolished in future. Every time Herman visits the old Reims Gueux circuit, he sees the improvement of the restoration. This foundation does a fantastic job to preserve this piece of motorsport history. So if you want to support them, please visit their website, amisducircuitdegueux.fr. In another video, Herman will show you more about the restoration works of a foundation. This space is now used as a storage by the foundation. And here Jean-Francois opens the entrance to a tunnel underneath the circuit for Herman. This tunnel leads to the so-called dungeon. But if you want to see more about what creepy things are hidden below in the Reims Gueux circuit, you need to watch part 1 of this exploration of Formula 1's ultimate abandoned racetrack. We end this exploration with a visit to the old podium, where big names in motorsport have stood. Strangely enough, the Reims Gueux podium was actually part of the grandstand and not, as per usual, part of the pit building. And with that bombshell, we bid you au revoir. If you want to know more about this circuit, please visit the website www.circuitsofthepast.com. From there you can download a free ebook about 7 abandoned racetracks that you can visit legally. For now, though, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on the next video from another bygone Circuit of the Past.